Hello and welcome back to Hail to the Deadites. So there's been a bit of a hiatus on the channel. I think I did an update around the middle of November and then sort of went off the grid on this channel for a bit. Simply because there just wasn't anything really to talk about, and then also it like went right into the holidays, so I was doing stuff with that. It was just, I didn't make really any videos in November or December across any of the stuff I do. So it was a very lackluster month for content for myself and also for Evil Dead. But I figured, you know what, it's a new year, despite the fact we're almost a month in, and I love making content for this channel. So of course I want to keep that going. So I compiled a big chunk of stuff that I wanted to show you guys, because I don't know if you've come across it or not, but I just thought it'd be a nice way to like enter back into the Hail to the Deadites world this year. So I thought one way to make more content on this channel is to let you guys know when cast members or crew members from the Evil Dead movies are showing up at conventions and stuff, just so you can get it on your radar if you're not on all kinds of social media and like don't come across it. So obviously Bruce has a couple conventions coming up that I thought I'd share with you guys. And the first one is at Fan Expo Vancouver, which is from February 17th to 19th in Vancouver. Probably doing signings, panels, like photo op things. I don't know. So if you're in Vancouver or on the western side of Canada, highly recommend going to this. I wish I could. And then next up on Bruce's convention appearances is the virtual Bruce Fest, which is a Bruce Campbell festival. And like people from the Evil Dead and other stuff he's been in will do appearances and photo ops and stuff, but it's mostly a convention about Bruce Campbell. So it shows here sort of what is going to be there. There's a masterclass on acting from Bruce Campbell, watching some of his like scenes and stuff that he's done. It's probably somewhat satirical. I don't think it's like a real acting course. I think it's probably more like goofs and stuff. There's an assortment of interactive events, live guests, and spooky surprises, and an online immersive game experience continuing the Bruce Fest story of ancient evil and corporate capitalism. I think it's really cool that even though like the travel restrictions for COVID stuff has lifted, like some conventions are still doing online stuff, which is really great for people that like say can't afford to travel to the convention, but like can't afford to get an autograph like done there and sent to them. Like I think it's nice. I wish more festivals still had like really good online options that aren't totally like geo-blocked, because I sort of live in the middle of nowhere. So like no conventions ever really come close to where I live with like bigger celebrities. And then traveling within Canada is so expensive, and then traveling to the US from Canada is so expensive. So it's nice to have these online options to enjoy and stuff. So moving on from this, we'll get into some tweets that I thought I could share with you guys. So first up, this is from Twitter user Lilith Myers. This is from Twitter user Lilith Myers 97, and this is Evil Dead wrapping paper. And I wish I had known about this before Christmas, so I could have asked for it to wrap my presents in. It looks like it's by Trick or Treat Studios, Wrapped in Terror. It's the Necronomicon pages to like wrap stuff in, and it looks really good and it's really cool. And I didn't even know this was a thing. I wonder if they have any like different patterns or whatever. It says here that it's from a small local business, but it does say Trick or Treat Studios on it, so I imagine you can probably get it from there. Or maybe it's like a discontinued thing, but that's just what I'm assuming from this. After that, I found this to be really interesting. So this is from Evil Kooky on Twitter, and it says, I've started working on a small fan project based on Evil Dead franchise with the gameplay of Doom. I will have a lot more to show on this soon. And there's a little video preview down here. So it looks like it was kind of built the same way as Doom, and I guess you go around shooting Deadites, and you've got a chainsaw as well. You can see some gameplay stuff here, but it looks really cool. And I think since Evil Dead the game is on its way out, unfortunately, and there's not really any other newer Evil Dead game out there unless you count like Ash being in Fortnite and Call of Duty, I think fan games might be the way to go in terms of like getting your video game and Evil Dead like appetite fulfilled and stuff. So this is really cool. And then a couple days ago, they also posted some assets for the game. So this is like the moose head on the wall, which looks really good and cool. I love the style they're using. Then if we scroll down a bit, obviously the Delta, it's not possessed yet, the hood's up. and then just another look at the deer head. So that's really, really, really cool. I'm definitely going to keep an eye on this, because this would be really cool to share on here and maybe talk to the developer behind it on making a game like this. So super cool. Can't wait to see more. Give them a follow on Twitter so you can sort of keep up with what they're working on. Then after that, Megan Thee Stallion says that Sam Raimi's Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2, as well as Fede Alvarez's Evil Dead, are her favorite horror films, which is super cool. Love Megan Thee Stallion. Kid Cudi also loves the Evil Dead movies, so maybe they could do like a collab track or something about the Evil Dead. I don't know. Whenever the next Evil Dead movie comes out, they should do a track for it together. I think that'd be really cool. But yeah, it's just cool to see big celebrities like rooting for the Evil Dead. Like in comparison to like Halloween or Friday the 13th, it feels like a much nicher sort of film to be interested in, but at the same time, it's still like pretty big. But it still feels like this tiny little indie film that like no one knows about, and I love that so much about it. Then moving on, Sam Raimi, I think recently joined a new talent agency, maybe, or got some new managers or whatever, and he's doing a merch line with his little ghost doodle that he draws on autographs. It's just shirts with the drawing on it. There's a hat and a sweater and stuff. It's pretty cute. I like it. I mean, I wonder if there's anything on the back. No. Yeah, I thought maybe there'd be like a signature or something on the back, but it doesn't look like there is. But anyways, I still think it's really cool. So you can check that out for yourself. Then we've got a custom doll. Now, if you follow my personal channel, I do a lot of videos on like Halloween and creepy and like horror related like Barbie dolls. So this was sort of right up my alley. So this is a custom doll of Ken as Ash. And they even did like a box and stuff. It looks pretty good. Like this looks pretty professional, like, to be completely honest. Like, I am really digging every single part of this. I love it. I love it so much. This was made by Lucy Dietz on Twitter, so go check that out and give her some love on this post because it is so, so good. Then after that, this was back in November, I think, but not in time for the last update video I did. Anyways, but it's Jane Levy in an Evil Dead shirt saying, should I wear this to yoga? Obviously just hinting at like her maybe getting back into the Evil Dead universe somehow, which would be really, really, really awesome. Love that shirt, very cool. Not what I would wear to yoga, because that seems like very zen, and this photo of Cheryl is not the most tranquil thing in the world. But yeah, I mean, it's cool to see her embracing Evil Dead stuff again, because I know she kind of struggled with the aftermath of the film, obviously after it came out and stuff, and didn't want to do it ever again, so it's really cool to see her back in the Evil Dead circuit. So then, if you'll remember from the last video, the Mystic Museum has their Evil Dead interactive display back out. They did it 2 years ago now, because it's 2024, and they did like a merch line with it. It was for the 40th anniversary of the movie, but they brought it back again this year, so maybe I'll do a whole video talking about that, because there's some more walkthrough videos of it posted now. But anyways, they have a lot of Polaroids from the making of the films there on display. So this Twitter user, Ta5T, has posted some, so I thought we could go through them and look together, because I mean, I've never been to the exhibit, so I haven't seen them before, so let's take a peek. So these are looking to be like they're from Evil Dead 2, maybe. There's Bruce by the window, and then Army of Darkness. This is Bruce with his clay double, I guess. And then Sam, and then Bruce on the floor, obviously before he's about to chop his hand off. Then we've got Bruce looking in the Necronomicon. Annie dead on the floor with the Kandarian dagger in her back. Then we've got Bruce at the end of Evil Dead 2, start of Army of Darkness, with the big gray streak in his hair. It says Ash plays Smurf down here, or maybe that, I don't know what word that's supposed to be, but it looks like Smurf. And then Bruce with his double in the mirror water jump out scene. I don't know what the official like scene names are for these, so I'm just going off. Then we've got Bruce with the shotgun. This is probably a continuity photo to get like the blood on his face right. And then it looks like the cabin's on an angle. So I don't know if the photo was taken on an angle or if the cabin is on an angle for something like. Then we've got Bruce again with Linda's head on his lap. Another photo of Bruce. I think the lighting must be different in this area. And then, so I think the original version of Evil Dead 2 was set to have like all the characters from the first movie return for the recap. And I think Sam was supposed to play Scotty. And I think that's what this is here. I think that's Sam as Scotty, and then Linda here and Ash there. It's hard to see if anyone else is in the picture. Then we've got some artifacts here. So that's the photo of Ash with Linda's head in his lap, and then the Linda head there, and one of the screen-used necklaces. Then we've got 2 of the Necronomicons, and then Ash's watch. And then we've got an Army of Darkness crew hat here, and some heads, and then a screen-used Necronomicon. Then we've got some videos here. So this looks like it's all the Polaroids put together. So this is just a little video on that, and there's some photos and stuff. Then we've got Ellie's wardrobe from Evil Dead Rise. Then we've got the power glove from Army of Darkness. It looks like the chainsaw from Evil Dead Rise, because it's yellow, another chainsaw. And then another Necronomicon, the Evil Dead Rise Necronomicon, and then back to Linda's head. And then it looks like these are better photos of it here. That's a screen-used chainsaw, some license plate and stuff. It looks like there's some work prints here of the film, the original poster, boomsticks and stuff on the wall. And then some more Necronomicons. And then that's a picture of Ellie's head. Then we've got Caleb's severed head from Evil Dead Rise. Another picture of Bruce in one of the Army of Darkness makeups. Some more Necronomicons and a chainsaw. I can't tell what movie. I think that's from Evil Dead Rise. It looks like it's the color of the chainsaw in Evil Dead Rise. Yeah, so that's all the photos from that. I will definitely do a video if I can find some good walkthroughs of the exhibit to sort of point out everything that I noticed. So really cool to have this thread to look through, to be really jealous that I wasn't there at the exhibit. And then at the Slashers Axe Throwing in Costa Mesa, California, they've got an Evil Dead inspired laughing deer up on the wall. Looks like it's sort of moving and talking. Very cool. Must be like behind a bar or something. But really, really cool. So then moving on to Reddit, Dead Meat just did a kill count for Evil Dead Rise. I haven't gotten a chance to watch it yet. I'm pretty aware of what the body count is in that movie, so that'll be cool to watch. Definitely recommend you guys go and check that out. Then there's a game that came out called 7 Days to Die. I'm not sure if it's a newer game or an older game, but the Evil Dead 2 cabin is in the game. This is the cabin exterior, and then the map of the cabin within the game itself. Just another view of the exterior of the cabin, the broken bridge, and the quote-unquote classic, at least what they could do in the game, which would be like the Delta. Then another view of the broken bridge. This is the narrow passage where Ash escapes the evil within the cabin. This is the view when you first step inside. There's no deer on the wall here. That's where the deer would be, above the fireplace. And then the fruit cellar, but there's no Henrietta down there. So I'll have to also look up sort of a walkthrough of this game and just sort of check the cabin out and see how, like, realistic it is to the original. And then finally, this is the first I've heard of this, but someone did a sensical cut of The Evil Dead. So they've made some changes to sort of sync audio better, improve continuity, tighten the pace, and then just give the movie a slicker feel like the 2 films after it. So they made some changes. Every sound and visual edit is redone to make a smoother experience with continuity. Opening in car heavily recut, synced clock ticking, sounds added for better, more muted thumps, chair slamming into cabin better, made blender sounds constant as the audio cuts in and out. Ash gives magnifying glass pendant scene is heavily cut into. The tree love scene is heavily recut. Cheryl wanting to leave cuts off earlier, removes Cheryl saying they're not going to let us leave a second time, and synced dialogue to cards being read. So this would be interesting to check out. You'll have to sort of go to this person's Reddit profile to find it, because I don't think they could post it within the Evil Dead subreddit itself. So their user imaginary-contract-6. So definitely go check that out. And if you do watch it, let me know how it is and like how it sort of changes the movie, if at all. So then you'll remember months ago, Dynamite Comics announced a new Evil Dead comic called Evil Dead Army of Darkness Forever. And I think about 7 issues of that are out now, but I think we only looked at the covers from the first one because that's all that was released. But I thought it'd be nice to go through all the covers now and just sort of look into it. I haven't been reading the comics because I'm not a reader of anything really. So yeah, let's take a little peek. So this is the first issue's cover. There's 4 of them. So this is Ash with the chainsaw. Then we've got one of, it's more watercolory, Ash on a pile of Deadites, I'm assuming, with the chainsaw and the boomstick. Then we've got a more cartoony Ash at the original end of Army of Darkness with a crazy looking bazooka and the chainsaw. And then we've got an Army of Darkness Forever that is the Army of Darkness poster. And then there's a couple of alternate covers as well. So this would be like time travel Ash from the end of the original Army of Darkness, and I think that's probably an evil Ash, and then what looks to be like Sheila from Army of Darkness, and some robot spires and Big Ben and stuff. And then there's just an alternate cover of that watercolor one with Ash as a Deadite himself. So then issue 2, this is like the default cover. It looks like it's the woods and there's Ash in the cabin in the background. And then one of Ash, but he's got skulls as teeth, which is interesting. Then we've got a long hair and bearded Ash with the chainsaw. Then we've got one of, I'm guessing, probably an evil Sheila here with a very, very torn up dress. And then I think this is more the style of the original Army of Darkness comics. It's Ash with two babes, if you will, and some monsters around him and some tiny ashes. And then moving on to issue 3, this is the chainsaw busting through some vines or some tentacles, not really sure. Then we've got Ash walking a Deadite bride down the aisle. I really love this cover. This is like really good. They captured Bruce's face perfectly. Then I think this is maybe Sheila again. I really love the colors in these covers. Then we've got one here of one of the big bad guys from Army of Darkness, but he's got Ash's chainsaw and his gun, so who knows what happened there. And then moving on to issue 4, I think this is the default cover. Got Ash in the reflection of someone's eyes. Sam Raimi loves doing close-up shots of people's eyes, so this ties in really well. Then we've got another one of Ash similar to the wedding one, and I really like this cover as well. It's a Deadite girl blowing hearts at him, and he's about to fall into a pit of Deadites. And then we've got one of what's his name from Army of Darkness in that very colorful art style. It looks really nice. And then issue 5, we've got some sort of sliced up Deadite here. Not sure what happened to him, but I would assume probably a run-in with Ash's chainsaw. Then we've got a very grumpy Ash sitting on a wall with like a Steve Urkel skull right there and some other Deadites. I really like these covers too. Then we've got S-Mart Ash with Bridget Fonda from the end of Army of Darkness. He's got like a tag gun and the whole store's on fire. There's blood in the mop bucket. And then another really colorful cover of the Wizard. I think he's a wizard. I don't know. I haven't watched Army of Darkness in so long. I really need to give it a rewatch. That's why I can't remember everyone's names. And then issue 6, we've got Ash fighting atop a huge pyramid of Deadites. They do the motion so well. Like, they've got, like, motion blurring built into the covers. And then, in that other art style, I like, they've got a decapitated, amputated Ash jumping over some Deadite, wondering what happened there. Then we've got a super colorful cover of the Necronomicon. I think this would make a really good shirt design, that version of the Necronomicon. It looks super cool. And then we've got the Wizard and that sort of original ending Ash with the power glove and stuff. He's looking pretty skinny here, but they're doing some sort of spell with the Necronomicon pages. And then the most recent issue is number 7. So we've got Ash here fighting in the rain, I think, or maybe the snow, blasting some bad guys. Then we've got Ash with some more Deadite babes. This is a really funny cover, to be completely, like, I love this cover. It's really funny. Then we've got Ash standing on top of a mountain or like a cliff, looking over stuff. I love the colors in this one. And then we've got Ash hanging a Deadite baby over some spikes. Wonder what happened there. So yeah, that is everything I have to share with you. It's really nice to be back and doing more videos. If there's any Evil Dead news I missed, feel free to let me know on any of our social medias or down in the comments, and I will definitely check it out and include it in the next video. So thank you so much for watching. I'm very happy to be back and keeping you guys caught up with more content. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one. Stay groovy.